Greetings, Wildman back with you from Wildman Productions. I've had requests to have videos made of how to, what I call, hard trim an RC helicopter, 4-channel. Back with you with the same bunch from my binding video. Actually, I would honestly say with hard setting, say you're flying a helicopter and you want all your trims to be zeroed out so you can switch from one helicopter to the other without having to worry about what trim settings do I have to alter for one to another to another to another. You can cut all that out. All it takes is a little bit of ingenuity. Setting a hard trim, let's just grab this one for instance. Setting a hard trim on a helicopter is as easy as, say you've got your transmitter fired up and you have on your transmitter, you have like 2 lines past your center point on your transmitter. Well, what you'll actually want to do is a cheating trick to help you realign it is then you will take your stick and you will wiggle your roll if, say, your roll is what's off. Let's just say you've got your pitch and your roll completely off. So what you'll want to do is whenever you have your roll heading this way, to keep it trimmed up to 0, what you'll do is you'll hit that button and you will, oh, I still have this little guy with a battery on it. He's laughing at me. Anyway, let's get this other one turned on now that we've already got it bound. And let's say that we just have this little guy trimmed up in all the wrong ways. Get him to bind up. We have binding. So what you'll want to do is you have 2 notches here and 2 notches here down each way. What I like to do for a good starting point is I will then take my helicopter and I will test it because no 2 helicopters are, well, some of them are identical, but generally speaking, a lot of them are laid out different. Their servos will work in different ways, and your responses, if you've got your washout plate in the middle back here, it's going to operate different than if it's got it in the front or if it's got it on the side. So 2 of them might not act identical, they'll have a different function. So an easy cheating trick in order to align your helicopter and get it zeroed is you'll push your stick in the direction you need to go. Find the right servo, and you'll notice with me pushing it sideways to match the 2 parts here, and you push it sideways to match that for your 2 notches of trim, and you'll see that this comes up. So what you'll want to do is an easy way to do this. A lot of people say you use pliers and all that. You're going to screw up your connectors. Trust me, it's not a pretty sight. What I find works really well is to kind of give a twist so that you use the ball for your advantage to simply turn it and pop it right off. And that pulls your linkage right off, and then as you noticed it needed to go up. So you would turn it 2 half turns. For each one of these notches I turn it 1/2 of a turn just to be safe. Some of them will require a full turn per run, some will require more, some will require less. But that being said, and then all you do when you get it adjusted is just simply push it back on until it pops and holds smoothly. This one I already had set, so there was no need to trim it. But say you've got on the other side, say you have, and then what you'll do whenever you fire it back up is you'll recenter that and give it a flight test and make sure that it works. If it doesn't work, then you know to turn it just a little more. That being said, if you've got your up and down, your forward and backward for your pitch is off, what you'll do is you'll push on that and you'll see that it goes up. With each time I push down on this to match the trim, you'll notice that the linkage here goes up. So once again, what you'll do is you've got 2 notches up. What you'll do is 2 half turns. You'll pop this off by just simply twisting it and pulling out just a little bit. If you got fingernails, it really works good. And then you will twist it 1/2 turn, 1 full turn, and then you pop it back on there and reset your transmitter to 0 And then whenever you give it a flight test, you'll know if it needs more or less. Different helicopters react differently with the adjustments of the linkages, so it's at least a good starting point to get you into adjusting your helicopters. I'm using this larger one as an example. But however, I will check another one and show you the difference. If you notice, for going to the right and down on my trim, you'll notice that this particular one both went up for the servos. Not all of them react the same. Some will go down under those same circumstances. I don't know if this one will or not, so let's find out. I've already trimmed it up and I forget because, well, no two of them are identical. So what we'll do is we'll make sure this is bound. You have a good binding. And then what I will do is let's go again with a double here and I'll show you. We'll reset this to like the other one had with 2 over and 2 down. So what you'll do is you'll push it down, over, and your roll actually goes down on this particular one. So what you would do is you would pop your linkage off here, which is a little rigid because this is a fairly new helicopter. So there we go. So what you do is then you would crank this down 1 full turn or 2 half turns. And then whenever you get done, you simply reapply your linkage to your swash plate. And then make sure you reset your trim on your main basic transmitter. And likewise with the other side. If you'll notice, when I still have the 2 down here, then you test that and of course it pulls down again. So what you do is you will pop your linkage off of there and then you would crank it to where you turn it in, which turns it down, and that actually pulls it to where then you lock it back in, reset your controls, and then you give it your test flight to make sure that it's going to work. I hope this video has been helpful for you to understand and see how to what I call hard adjust your trim, and that'll make it, if you get them all set to where they will hover perfectly and beautiful and hold their own spot, then you can switch from one helicopter to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, and back and forth, and you don't have to sit and worry about, oh my goodness, I've got to readjust the trim every time I fly. That's annoying, trust me. I hope this tutorial has helped. I am not paid or sponsored in any way for my videos. I hope this instructional has helped you out, and the cheating trick of knowing how to move your stick in accordance with which servo works which way for which helicopter and which position. I hope it helps. Wish everybody a good day. Wildman out.